Drama at Jerry's World. Hey, everybody, buckle up, strap in. I got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating, no rainbows, no sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today as drama unfolds at the Jerry Dome, Texas. My friends, what did you guys think? If you're new, please subscribe right away. There's never been a more important time in moto history to get centered and surrounded with like-minded people. Iron will sharpen iron. We're going to sharpen some iron today. Hello, everybody. Welcome into the studio. Welcome in to the hurt locker, man. Shoot, we're going to have to hurt some people today, I'm afraid. A lot to unpackage. Like I said, if you're new, please jump into the comments. Thank you to all my bros in the comments. Instagram, Walty Wanders, MX, community page, polling. We did a bunch of polling. Who would win the 250s, the 450s? We'll be visiting that hopefully throughout the week this week. If Walty can find the time to turn on the camera and start freestyling and spitting facts around the U.S. moto industry. This is insane. So much to unpackage. But today we'll concentrate on some of the highlights, I believe, of what we saw unfold in Texas this weekend in Arlington at the Jerry Dome. We got a lot to unpackage for sure. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And my goodness, we got some ugly, we got some good, but the realities are there's a lot to unpackage. So let's just go ahead and start from the top and start working our way down and see what we can come up with. Let's start with our race winner, Cooper Webb. He looked pretty good. On the community page of the poll, we asked if we thought it would be Webb, Eli, or Tomac that would win this Triple Crown event. Cooper Webb was not the popular choice. Here's the dangerous part about what we're seeing right now with Cooper Webb. He's gaining confidence. The dude is just different than everybody else. He's a trippy dude. I love the dude, though. I absolutely love him because he's not this big, chiseled Tomac or Sexton. He's this little sawed-off Ricky Carmichael-looking dude and even less personality. But the personality he has is real. It's authentic. He speaks his mind. He's keeping it very real out there. You've got to respect that. But these other two riders that we thought that we'd end up with another Eli and Chase showdown in Supercross like we saw in the outdoors, no reason not to think of that. Well, guess what, man? Eli put it on the ground again this weekend, lit clearly off the pace, and I don't know, ironically enough, he just signs his extension now to do the remainder of the season. And I mean, we'll have to get into that a little later if we can with its own separate video, because I think there's some reading between the lines and looking between the cracks there of why he would extend that contract. It's not, he doesn't need the money. He can retire. He's done well enough. He can retire. But of course, he doesn't want to leave money on the table. But he put it on the ground this weekend. He was off the pace, and he's kind of showing almost some Kenny-like traits where if Eli gets passed, 9 times out of 10, it seems like he doesn't pass back. Where we'll see some of these other riders fight, like the Cooper Webb, even Chase Sexton, I see a little more fight. Now, I'm not worried about Eli. If I was a betting man, there's maybe my money still goes with Eli to win it all this year. He is the defending champ. When he's on, he is on. He's not making any of the big mistakes. A tip over, we can live with that. There's been no big hit the eject button type crashes. Well, actually, that's not true. In the last Anaheim, I think was that a Triple Crown? He had that one pretty big get off that was pretty ugly, but he got lucky and was able to jump up and finish the race. Then we come to Chase Sexton. Again, he found himself on the ground. Unfortunate. It's now becomes more of this mental thing with Chase. Like, how does he fix this? I think it helped him to see, first of all, he gained some points. He lost points on Webb, gained some on Eli. Not enough to get excited about, but this points chase is extremely tight now. It is, in fact, at the moment, a 3-rider battle, and it would appear that's what we could expect throughout the season. I would love, and I know you, typically by the end of the year, when we get to Vegas, which we won't be at this year because the industry messed up and put it in the most boring place on earth in Utah. But even if we get to the finale, if it comes down to a 3-rider winner-take-all, historic. Like, I'm hoping for it, man. That would just be insane. Because I know a lot of history is going to be made in the season. Economically, riders, teams. There's a lot of stuff that's going to play out probably by summer. When we get to the outdoors, I think we're going to see some musical chairs going and some stuff going on. And I'll be here to blow the lid off it. But that's what I believe you're going to get, a 3-rider. That's the good. Now let's get into the bad. There's a couple bad things that happen that come to mind. First of all, we asked on the page, on the Walty Wander community page as well. We polled it because Adam Cianciarulo in press day, apparently it wasn't even a crash. This may be a hard landing. Apparently jacked his already jacked wrist that we were all kind of just seeing how he's going to be able. We've reported on this. This is bad. What we needed from AC is he needed to finish the season. He looked good. He was getting starts. He was even up front. In fact, he was even avoiding being a lapper. But we reported, for if you're a factory equipment, nothing outside, top 10. I mean, if you're a factory guy like Anderson, even at this point, like I don't even know what to say about him, because his championship hopes are over. And that causes tension at the truck. And now AC's gone. So we asked, right, Savacci would be, he's ridden for the team before, he's on a Cowie now, he would be the guy that you would look to do a fill-in role for Adam Cianciarulo. I don't know if Adam Cianciarulo comes back. He might, but it doesn't matter. This is a massive blow to not only Adam Cianciarulo, but to Cowie. Championships hopes over with Anderson, which is where they pinned him, and they just lost Adam. Then Savacci gets hurt, and now he's jacked. So it now comes down to who's more jacked, Savacci or AC, and maybe both of them are done. So then you're in crisis mode over at Cowie. And then I saw some interviews with their team manager. It wasn't rainbows and sunshine at all. Like, it was quite the opposite. Like, I would hate to be at that truck. I'd hate to be Anderson working around that environment. That would just be insane to me. So that's what we're seeing. That's some of the bad that's going on. We have our good friend Hunter Lawrence. Hunter Lawrence found himself on the ground, and he took down our boy Anstie while he was at it. And he almost tried to blame Anstie on the podium because he got hit by him. Well, yeah, you cartwheeled it right in front of Anstie. I was cheering for. I'm still cheering for Anstie. Anytime, because I worked with privateer teams. Anytime you could get in there and make noise on the privateer level and find the podium, massive at the truck. Stoked. Me selling merchandise was always much easier. Once Larry Ward or Kyle Lewis, something happened cool. As a privateer team, those are huge moments. So anyway, Hunter puts it on the ground, and he was able to recover. And in the podium, he's fine. There's no problems with him. But he should have been apologizing. I thought that's what he was saying. I feel really bad because I went down and collected Anstie. No, he's like, I went down and Anstie ran into me, and that kind of jacked me up too. Like it was somehow Anstie's fault. I think the Lawrence brothers, they don't want to see anybody else steal any of the limelight from them. Like, I think I've sensed a little bit of that as I hear myself talk. But the realities are, and then they had Jetson in the booth. Luckily, he didn't try to push any Jetson donuts, or if he did, luckily I missed it. But that's some more of the bad, just watered down moto. Then we get into Danger Boy. Danger Boy, I'm going to let him off the hook, I think, today. He had to get off, but he ran up front. He looked pretty good. He didn't look as good as he did last weekend winning the heat race, I don't believe, but he looked pretty good. What I would expect out of him, he's still one of the top amateur crop that came in. Probably had the best finish, but he was clearly not quite feeling it, and that brings us to our track. I think the riders weren't necessarily... That track didn't look fun. It just looked like a work. Like, you look at those battles when back in Ricky and Reed and Bubba, and they would just... Lots of open corners, and they're just like... slingshotting each other, pass back. You never see that anymore where pass and then pass back. Remember, you see multiple riders battling, passing each other back and forth. The tracks are so crammed in and busy. There's no room for that. You're just trying not to kill yourself out there. And then if you're good enough, maybe you can make a pass and try to check out. Like, that's all I'm going to hit my marks. So I was just trying to hit my marks, ride my own race, ignore what's going on behind me. Which we saw a lot of riders start to look behind him, like Christian Craig. He starts looking behind him. And he had probably one of his better races. He's got a YouTube channel. I don't watch many of these YouTube channels from the riders. I know you guys probably do. I check in. Occasionally I watch. I mean, I'm not like a religious watcher of the Degans or the Craigs. But I'm pretty sure Craig had a pretty good ride. But I remember seeing him looking behind him during the race. Always a bad sign. You want to race in front of you. So those are the things that are going on. We'll go ahead and wrap the show up with our boy Kickstart Kenny. What do you guys, he had what? I think he is a 4th overall on the night, but a pretty quiet one. But progress. In fact, I know he looked good. He looked probably better than he had. Well, he looked way better than he did last week, and I was worried that he's done. Almost. I mean, 11th place, dropping anchor. But this was the short. He always looks good in these Triple Crown events because you get a 12-minute main instead of a 20-minute main, which is about Kenny's sweet spot because he dropped anchor at about the same mark last weekend or the weekend before that with Tampa and the 20-minute main. So I don't know, with Kenny it was good. Like I kind of given him like almost like a get out of jail free card the way I am Danger Boy. Like, they didn't do anything great. They didn't do anything bad. They just, lived to survive another weekend, which in this sport, you can't expect much more at times unless you're in championship points. This thing's going to come down to historic finish, I'm hoping. It's looking like it. And I'm telling you what, man, Cooper Webb looks like he's coming, and he's coming. Final thoughts that come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win on the track, off the track, understanding the waters we're swimming in now, shark infested. We're just scratching the surface. We could go on and on and on, but we'll continue to throw people under the microscope, give them praise when needed, cast shade if that's what's needed. We'll do everything and anything in between because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media link in the description of this video, or find me on Walty Wanders MX on Instagram. If you appreciated this video, I know you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Don't go over the bars today. I'll see you on the next video.